But first, it's 75 years old, but it's still one of the most iconic fighter aircraft in the world. And now a new play about the Spitfire has been written to mark the anniversary of its maiden flight in 1936.
Yes, Mitchell's Wings tells the story of the man who designed the plane right here in the south. It also includes the stories of the people who helped to build it and the pilots, of course, who flew it. Richard Jones has had a preview.
There were 20 German 109s above the cloud watching me, rubbing their hands together, and boy did they hit me from in front and behind. The bullets went through me, hitting my shoulder, my hand, and a cannon shot which hit my parachute. When I was hit in the shoulder, I thought I was dead. It was a monumental blow.
The testimony of Wing Commander Bob Doe describing the moment his luck ran out and his Spitfire was shot down over the south coast in 1940. He'd already claimed 14 German aircraft and was one of the most successful pilots of the Second World War. Before his death last year, he shared his story with playwright and teacher Johnny Carrington, who'd always wanted to write about the Spitfire.
I've been mad about aeroplanes for years. First time I saw the Spitfire, about 10 years old, going into the Science Museum, looked up and saw it hanging there. And from that day on, I've just been mad about aeroplanes. And I think you look at the Spitfire and it just looks amazing. It sounds great, it looks right, and you can guarantee that when people hear a Spitfire sound, or Merlin engine, they will look up to see where it's coming from.
What happened?
This is the moment R.J. Mitchell, the creator of the Spitfire, hears about a crash involving one of his earliest aeroplanes.
It's Kincaid.
Kincaid?
He's crashed in the S5.
What? When?
About half an hour ago.
Mitchell put the setback behind him, and by the time he died in 1937, had created the plane which would help to win the Battle of Britain. It was built in the Supermarine Works at Woolston in Southampton. Some members of the cast have family links to the story.
My grandfather had a protected occupation in the war. He helped build the Spitfires over in Woolston. He worked for Supermarine and then went on to work for Vickers all of his life, which of course is largely what the play is about. Reading through the script, it was uncanny how many connections there were with the story of my grandfather's life.
The Woolston factory was bombed in 1940 and more than 100 workers died.
The giving of a life in the throes of wartime strife.
It was another chapter in the bittersweet story of triumph and loss that is the legacy of the Spitfire.
There's a blue sky.
Mitchell's Wings is being performed at the Museum of Army Flying in Hampshire this weekend and at the Solent Sky Museum in Southampton next week. Richard Jones for Meridian Tonight.
The Spitfire in all its glory, and we'll have more on the anniversary of that first flight in tomorrow night's programme when we talk to those who helped make this iconic aircraft in factories across the south and hear more from those who flew it in wartime.
Meanwhile, special events will be taking place this weekend at both Southampton Airport and the Battle of Britain Memorial Site near Folkestone.
And a quick reminder now of the ways you can catch up with us. We all